Have you folks ever wondered how you should store your hay? Have you guys ever been told that the only way to store your hay is in a building or else it'll completely get ruined? Well, today I'm going to either be busting or confirming that myth, but I'm going to leave it up to you guys to decide, because ultimately I think hay storage is a personal preference. Now, yes, there are things like, well, the drier the hay, the better, and there are theories of like, well, it doesn't mold, it doesn't rot if you let it dry out in a barn. That is absolutely true. But I'm going to show you some of my round bales today, and I'll let you guys decide what you think. So, this round bale here, this one, the one next up the hill, and one after that, these were all wet baled, kind of. Not really wet baled, but really wet to be dry baled, and then wrapped in plastic. Not net wrap, like true plastic wrap, like you would make silage bales with. So we're going to look at this here. These have all been sitting out in the open, in the sun, on the farm, on my gravel pad, as evident by the gravel right there, which did not work how I thought it would work in a previous video, but that's okay. So this one was wrapped in plastic. The outer edge, the outer, I don't know, ½ inch, maybe 1/4 of an inch in some places, completely disgusting in my opinion. You know, some folks may say, well, my cows will eat it. Some folks may say, you know, not even a goat would eat that, you know. But in my opinion, this looks acceptable. I don't like it because it's a pain to get the wrapper off. Plus, it was twine wrapped, which is a little bit more of a pain in the butt, in my opinion. This one, this bale and the bale down the hill here, these were first cut from my field, just net wrapped. If you notice here, just about as much is rotted. Not really much different, except only this surface is rotted right here. So see the top? There's not really a whole lot of rot on that top. Let's look at the side. You can see that side. There's hardly any rot on that side. So I personally believe, now, okay, before I finish that statement, let me say this. These bales were from, not this past summer, but 2 summers ago. So that'd be 2022. This bale is first cut 2023. This bale is, I don't remember which cut, 2022. So it is technically older, and like I say, it was a little bit wet when it was wrapped. But what if that happens to you guys? What if your plan is to wrap it and that's all you got? You got a wet bale because it rained or something. You know, so that's the main difference I'm seeing here. The fronts, these faces that we're looking at seem to be about the same. I don't really see too many issues. Now, they are a little deformed in the shape because they had 6 or 8 round bales sitting on top of them because I pyramid stacked them. But these were pyramid stacked in the open, no tarp, no cover, no nothing. Same with this guy here. This guy's actually looking a little bit better here. You can see it's a little bit cleaner on the top line. Now, some of this could just be that the dirty parts had kind of fallen off when I was undoing the wrapping, doing the bale net, the bale net wrap. But over here, you can see this is the area where the round bale was sitting on top of it up above. And it's actually still good and clean. So there's that one. This one was also the same way. That was another bottom bale. Oh, and I should mention the bottoms of these bales. They might look really bad right now because they're sitting on the dirt. But when they were, when I picked them up, they retained their round shape. The bottoms were very, very dry and very, very not moldy. I know that's good, proper English for you. But let's go up here to some of these bales. These bales here were stored in a building. It did not have perfect airflow. In fact, it was a building with the doors closed on it. So it didn't have good airflow at all. But these round bales were stored in a building. I can't remember if these were some of our first crop bales as well, or if I had some from last year, or what I did. I think these were from first crop. So I had these stored in a building, minimal airflow, and I let them dry out before I put them in the building, because I obviously didn't want spontaneous combustion. And they look really good. So I will say, just based on looking at this, I think it is worth it to store it in a building. But how many of you guys that are just starting out, or how many of you guys that are newer to this actually have a building to store all your hay in? I know I don't. I know I don't have a building to store all of my hay. I can only stick 12 round bales in the building that I have with my current setup. Here we go. This is what I wanted to show you guys. So this is a bottom bale from that building bale. So the one in the middle down here, this one was underneath of that one. I don't know specifically, but let's just say it was underneath. So you see, I'm still getting some mold on this top surface, even though these were dried ahead of time and no additional water ever got to these things. Top line looks good, sides look pretty good. So realistically, there's less rot, there's less waste with these stored indoor bales, but there still is some. Now maybe I have to have an open barn. Maybe I need to have a true hay shed. I know a lot of hay sheds are basically those hoop barns where they have airflow on one side or two sides to allow them to really dry out. But this is what I mean. I think you can get away without having a building. I think you can get away with just storing them outside, uncovered. You know, I know a lot of folks will scream and yell about that. I know when I started doing that, my neighbor recommended I don't do that because he said I'd have so many rot issues. I'd have so many problems with my round bales. But look, this is one of these bales that was stored outside. I only see a small amount of black rot right here at the top surface. And if I peel that back, it's only the outer edge. Hopefully you guys can see that pretty good. It's only the outer edge. So I don't know if this helps anybody. I don't know if this really matters to anybody, but I just wanted to get out here and I just wanted to say your hay storage may or may not be like everyone else's, but it can still work just as well